In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the copy modify command in Inventor Professional 2022. So I'm in a 2D sketch here, and our modify commands can be found on our sketch tab right at the top of the ribbon here. I'm kind of dancing my mouse around it. And the copy command is the second one down on the left-hand side. So if you hover over any of these buttons in Inventor, it tells you the name of the command. It gives you a quick description of it, and then if you leave your mouse there, it'll actually give you a little bit of an extended description with a visual. That's kind of a really handy tool when you're trying to figure out what each of these different modify commands does. So I'm going to select my copy command, and it's going to open up this little pop-up box for us here. So we start by selecting the geometry we actually want to copy. So we can see in the top left here, we've got our select button. Now, if you go to select your shape and it doesn't highlight, so here I'm trying to grab my circle, no dice. So what you've done is you've probably accidentally turned off the select button. So just come on over here, make sure it's blue, and then you should be able to grab the shape that you want to move, or copy, sorry. So I've selected my circle to copy. Once I've picked all the parts of my sketch that I'm going to copy, I come up here and I pick the base point button here. Now the base point is the point that you're going to be copying from. So I'm going to copy from the center point of my circle here as my base point. Now I could go and I could just start clicking copies of this around on my screen, and I could get as many copies in as many random locations as I want. The other way I can copy is using precise input. So if I come into my copy box here, there's a little checkbox for precise input. So I'm going to turn on my precise input. And then you can type in the coordinates that you want to copy this new shape to. So if I want to copy it to 1, 0, so 1 in my positive x direction and 0 in my y direction, I can type that in and then click on my screen. And it will make an exact copy of my shape there at 1, 0. Let's do that again. Maybe I want to go -1, 0. And if I've got that typed in, I can go ahead, click on my screen, and it will automatically put that circle at -1 in the x direction and then 0 in the y direction. I'm going to add 2 more. So this time I'm going to go 0, 1 to place 1 up top. And then I'm going to go 0, -1 to place 1, -1 in the y direction. So when you're doing your precise inputs, you just click on your screen to place the circle. Hitting enter or hitting done will not take into account that precise input. So you have to be careful there. Don't just hit enter or don't just hit the done button. Otherwise, your circle will not move to those coordinates that you're typing in. You have to actually left click on your screen in order for that change to take place. So if we wanted to check to see if this actually worked, we can come in here, grab our dimension, and just make sure, that these are exactly 1 apart, which we can see, yep, those guys are 1 apart. If we check these guys right here, yep, these guys are 1 apart. So our copy command has worked with that precise input. Now you can copy more than one shape at a time. So here I'm going to start my copy command again. So I'm just going to grab the shapes that I want to copy. So I'm grabbing all of my circles this time. My base point is going to be, the center point of the circle on the left. And now this time I'm just going to come up and place some on my screen like this without typing in precise input. When I'm done, I click done. And here you can see I have multiple groupings or multiple copies of those 5 circles that I copied all at once. So that's how we can use the copy modify command in our Inventor 2D sketches.